Well, we're in a gynocentric social order now. So women think that, and guys that support whatever women think without questioning it, think that, well, if
which
female
is most men.
jealousies, right, if female right, if female jealousy is related to insecurity, well, then male jealousy must be related into insecurity too. So if you have any feelings of jealousy, anything at all, any behaviors, any red flags that pop in your head, it's because you're insecure.
Hmm.
That is not true at all. So I ask
Not only is
anybody
it not
to,
true, but it's a load of crap. I mean, there's a lot of people that are really singing those sound bites these days. I've even seen a lot of academics starting this. I think you made a note about eroticizing your jealousy.
yes,
You might have heard that sound bite, but for men, it's like no, it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't.
no. And so for guys, we're jealous for because we want to protect our paternity. And that's a real threat because we don't know really. I mean, we do now with DNA tests, but for most of our evolutionary history, we didn't know if that baby came out, if it was ours or not. So
We
that
didn't
was
even have safe, reliable birth control until what, 30, 40, 50 years ago?
right, something like that,
Yeah. So
1950s
for
or
the most part,
60s.
we've
Yeah.
operated without birth control.
Yep. And so guys getting cucked and ending up with someone else's kid, meaning that their genes don't move on to the next generation, is a huge existential threat for a man. It makes a man feel violent and it makes a man want to solve a problem real quick. Ask yourself if that silverback gorilla that beats up an opposing gorilla, sends him on his way to protect his prized women, his little tribe, to make sure that gorilla doesn't mate with his women, is that gorilla insecure? We're going to have a psychological session with him and talk about his male insecurities. Of
Mm.
course not. That gorilla is as alpha as any gorilla could be, protecting his territory. And so for men, jealousy and jealous feelings, both retroactive, meaning looking at our past, as well as current opportunities, that is a protective streak. That's in most. And I had to ask this question because I've had these feelings and I don't consider myself not a confident person. And I've noted that there's dudes, some of the most alpha guys I know have had that almost like abusive jealous streak, some of them. Some
Mm.
guys who are real alpha, like putting their girl in line kind of stuff, which in a way that's not healthy, I don't recommend. And I'm like, wait a second, is that guy insecure? Is he
Let me ask you a
weak?
question. At what point would you say that it's unhealthy?
I think that if you're having to, my opinion, if
Yeah.
I have to create drama in my relationship to keep her in line rather than frame, I consider that unhealthy.
Mhm.
And so to take it to another level, I'm using frame control in order to, influence her behavior, which means she voluntarily does the mate protecting for me. I don't have to mate protect for her. If I have to mate protect for her, there's no relationship, in my opinion. But
Right.
that takes a level of frame control and that takes a level of game in a relationship that most guys don't have. So that's
Right.
something that has to be developed. But yeah, so I mean, anyways, back to it's
But
not
yeah.
it's not a weakness, in men, and so that's a big thing. So men don't want to talk about it, and so what ends up happening is a lot of maladaptive, or we could say bad or unproductive behaviors that come out of this. The most unproductive one that we see for most men is they ignore it. It's plausible deniability. So they do one of two things. They latch on to blue pilled fantasies that we call, the blue pilled fantasy stuff. She loves me. We said the magic words at the wedding. Whatever. She bought me this cool thing for my birthday. So, when she goes out with Kevin in sales, I got nothing to worry about. Or when she was getting, I'm trying to censor myself. When she was at the party in college and went on a
Getting your
ride on a
back blown
choo-choo
out.
train, you know what I mean? I don't think I have to worry about that because she loves me. You know what I mean? And so these are things that they guys latch onto that, and they try to ignore present behaviors. They ignore red flags because they think that makes them confident.